Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with yet another Starcraft Remastered repackcast from the South Korean ladder, as we have once again a very interesting engagement here in between the two pros. Let me just start by introducing the pros to you guys. We have Spawn Q in the upper right, in the green it is JAEDONG, and his opponent here in the lower left in the yellow it is a barcode with a 11 in between. Sadly, I don't know who this pro is, but a very high APM as you can see from the timer. So it should be of course a very interesting map, interesting game here onto a 4 spawning location map. Let's just see exactly what the players have prepared for us. And let me just start by congratulating the new president from the United States. Donald Trump made it, so congratulations to him. Very great victory for him. It's also very nice to see him finally making it. Just my best wishes for him, and especially the highest wish to just end the war as fast as he can, given the fact that more than 1 million people are either dead or injured. So I believe that would be, of course, for me personally, the first wish that should happen. Let's just get back to the game. We have, of course, the production tab here in the upper left part. We are going to be checking out the build orders, just like exactly we do in the previous replays. We see actually the Terran moving out quite far out and already creating a wall of in order to give protection towards his expansion, and pretty much the same like Flash is moving out at around the 1 minute and 40-second mark to just scout the map. In the meantime, interesting enough, JAEDONG still not going for any buildings. Finally, there is a hatchery here, but a delayed hatchery, as we also have the second overlord out, and there is his spawning pool, and I believe he's going to continue very soon with his gas. So the pretty standard stuff here for the Zerg. Some more drones are getting produced. The barracks is about to get finished here for the Terran, and it looks like indeed he's saving money for a command center, as of course there is no gas yet for him, but JAEDONG should of course start his gas, given the fact that most Zergs really like to transition into a tier 2 with some mutualist gameplay or lurker gameplay, so early gas is of course very important for them. In the meantime, the SCV actually makes it here forward for the Terran, reaching the base from JAEDONG. He's of course going to try to stay as much as he can, just to see exactly when or if that tier 2 is going to happen, and we're actually close towards the 3-minute mark. I believe JAEDONG is going to activate his tier 2 very soon. In the meantime, he's going for 2 Zerglings to snipe this SCV as fast as he can, to not allow the Terran to have vision, and there is indeed the command center for the Terran, double supply depots for him, so very good build order by him, as the SCV is just still roaming around into the near proximity from JAEDONG. And there is finally the tier 2 upgrade that has started here for JAEDONG. So yeah, pretty standard stuff. Like I told you, there are some Zerglings out in order perhaps to get a good surround against this SCV, and the wall of is pretty much complete, so those Marines would have of course to be microed back in order to have protection behind the wall. That's exactly what is happening, as JAEDONG is sending out 5 Zerglings, 1 Zergling is being left behind to take care of this SCV. And yeah, let's just see how the game is going to continue. The Marine is pretty much far out in order to inflict some damage. Let's check the main from the Terran. Actually a very early engineering bay by him, so of course he's also thinking about some mutilist gameplay here from the opponent. Gas is also getting mined. Very good build order here by him, as the first SCVs also getting transferred here towards the expansion point. We have 22 workers already here for the Terran, 18 for the Zerg, as the SCV right here with a nice trick moving here behind the mineral line. So very good micro here by this Terran. We also have weapons 1 upgrade here for the Terran, so also very important upgrade for him. And there is an academy much needed for the stim, the early stim for the Marines, as he's just still roaming around with his SCV, just trying of course to be as annoying as he can, and perhaps he's going to try to glitch once again forward in between those minerals. And there we have the gas for JAEDONG. There we have the spire that has started, as some turrets will of course be done very soon for the Terran. And now finally I understand why it was such an early engineering bay. The upgrade has already almost halfway getting done here for the Terran, so it's giving great importance towards his upgrades for those Marines. Weapons 1, no range yet of course for him. Weapons 1 and stim is going to be the first upgrades that will be finished for him, and in the meantime the SCV still takes more and more damage out of the Zergling right here. 2 more overlords for JAEDONG. The spire is about to get finished, is looking very good. and I believe all of his minerals, saved up minerals and gas, will be of course invested into the Mutalisk. And there we have the sniping of the SCV as one very early creep colony has been finished here by JAEDONG. So JAEDONG also expecting a early attack by the opponent. He has 3 medics already, some marines, and there we also have the range for the marines as the first Mutalisk are also getting produced, and we also have the flyer attacks upgrade for them. So let's just see what JAEDONG can do with those Mutalisk, as the first turrets have now started here for the Terran. If into his main he will also have some turrets in order to defend some barracks. Also going very heavily into those barracks right here, almost 4 of them getting finished. So it's going to be a very heavy bio build order here by the Terran as the first Mutalisk are moving here forward for JD. Let's just have a look how many he has. 7. Should be very, very strong. 2 turrets right here. Even the third one is about to get finished. Very good defensive gameplay here by the Terran. Let's see if those Mutalisk will be able to deal some economic damage there in all the marines. So lots and lots of damage has been taken here by the Mutalisk. Quite a failed attack here by JAEDONG. He has to retreat. He has to re-micro them as more actually no more Mutalisk are getting produced. We have another hatchery here for JAEDONG and more drones actually getting produced by him, as weapons 1 is about to get finished for the Terran. In the meantime, JAEDONG deciding to go for a different path. He might just try to hide those Mutalisk into the fog of war and just deal damage towards the marines right here. At the same time, more units are getting produced here by the Terran. 2 more turrets here. Not that many turrets here actually into the main, so this could be quite deadly. In comes JAEDONG, snapping 1 SCV. The turret is quite exposed. The Terran might have to repair it. Another SCV and yet another one is getting snapped. So pretty good pickups here by JD, even taking out a marine. At the same time also losing 1 Mutalisk. Second Mutalisk is down. One also very, very hurt. So a pretty good harassment here by the Zerg. But at the same time now the Terran is moving out with weapons 1 finished. And I believe his new target is going to be of course the newly established base here by JAEDONG. So let's just see how JAEDONG is going to defend against this. He has actually many sunkens right here. This expansion actually is being defended with some hills around here, so the Terran of course has to bypass this somehow, perhaps with some dropships, or go behind the mineral lines. So it looks like a pretty much an all-in maneuver here by the Terran with lots and lots of marines, weapons 1. There's 4 sunkens. I don't think those sunkens will be enough if the Terran is going to also take his reinforcements right here. In the meantime, he's just establishing the control of the exit from JAEDONG, as JAEDONG is actually producing more and more Mutalisk right here. Actually, those are the hurt Mutalisk, and in come the reinforcements for him. Just see if the Terran is going to pretty much commit here forward as we close in towards the 10-minute mark. There are his reinforcements. He's looking really, really strong. There's lots and lots of sunkens. No lurkers yet here for JD, as his evolution chamber is about to get finished. We also have a science facility here for the Terran, and it looks like he's pretty much going to commit here forward, steaming up the first sunken, taking some damage. The Mutalisk are coming in from the flanks, so lots and lots of damage is being taken here by both players. Actually, the sunkens taking more and more damage. Some marines of course will fall. The medics do their best to heal them up, but in the end 4 sunkens look like there were enough, and of course the Mutalisk to back up the defense. Very good defense in the end by JD. The Zergs have of course been sniped, but now we do have a transition into those high risk with lurkers for JD. Very soon we will pass the 10-minute mark. We even have a Zerg Defiler mount, so Defilers of course a great counter against all of those marines from the Zerg. And now finally JD once again moving out, trying to attack the production tab. Perhaps this once again weak spots here for the Terran is going to be abused by JD. In the meantime, a good flank here by the Terran. He might take out a couple of Mutalisk as the game continues here. So very good game here by both players. The Terran at 48 workers. We even have 1 defensive lurker right here against a drop. So very smart gameplay here by JD, but this is actually getting scanned. However, a very smart move indeed, hiding the lurker underneath the overall. Very, very good reaction here by JAEDONG, as we actually do see 2 dropships. Let's just see when or if it's going to be a drop. Perhaps going straight towards the main. A very smart move, of course, bypassing all of those sunkens in the front. Let's see if JAEDONG has something in the back to defend. He sees now the drop attempt by the opponent and a very good sting by him, but lurkers are very close by, so I don't think this is going to be doing so much damage. But a good stim by him, by the Terran, by passing those lurkers right here. And now of course he's going to inflict some good damage towards the exposed lurkers, and he might even be lucky to snipe a Queen's Nest or the Hydralisk then. So yeah, in the end now JAEDONG once again getting forced to defend, but those buildings a little bit too exposed outside, so two of them might get sniped. In the end, a good drop by the Terran. Let's not forget that weapon zone has been finished, and he even goes for more upgrades here, so very smart move indeed. But there we have the Defiler with the Dark Swarm, and even the Mutalisk are coming here forward. So JAEDONG really wants to take care of this harassment by the opponent, and he's going to be successful. And as you can see, in the meantime, the Terran just pushing with more units out. Mass bio marines by him with medics. This has been cleared, but I believe he's going to try once again his luck against those Sunkens right here, or perhaps wait for weapons 2 to get finished, or perhaps he's going straight towards this location right here with the lurker that is defending it. And we also have a Sunken colony right here, so very good vision by the Terran right here with his science vessel. Might try to irradiate the lurker right here. In the meantime, JAEDONG is countering this of course with the Mutalisk once again flying over, trying to catch some reinforcements from the opponent. As we see another expansion here, but pretty much exposed. JAEDONG could punish this of course. Let's see what the next moves are going to be, the next steps are going to be here. As the Zerglings will of course stand no chance against those upgraded Terran Marines. And yet another wave of Marines, even with fire bats now, counter the Dark Swarm from the opponent. In the meantime, the Defiler and the Lurker has been irradiated, so pretty good sniping here by the Terran, showing us the strengths of those science vessels against those units. And of course, JAEDONG is going to try to target the main science facility here from the opponent. In the meantime, some groups are being sent here back to defend the expansion right here, but the real action of course will happen here straightforward. However, a great storm has once again been casted here, as in comes the steam once again. The scourges are moving forward, but a great defense. Still one science vessel has been sniped, and the Marines are taking quite some damage. So in the end, JAEDONG is going to be able to hold, but there's lots and lots of Marines right here, and of course a drop attempt could also be started right here, but there's two lurkers defending, so JAEDONG with a very smart move. However, in the meantime, the Terran just keeps on expanding, and if JAEDONG is allowing this to happen, of course he's going to be behind in economy, and in the end the Terran is going to perhaps overwhelm him, as another irradiance has been casted here, even against scourges, interesting enough, to pull them forward. Two strong groups of Marines are moving here forward. This group is still behind to defend. A very smart gameplay here by the opponent, as now Plague has been casted here by JAEDONG to keep the Terran at bay. The medics are of course healing up, but a very good control here from the Terran versus the exit points here from JAEDONG, and with that he might even be lucky to snipe one science vessel or two with the Hydralisk. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And yeah, now yet another Plague has been casted, so very good defense here by JD with the Plague, pushing the Terran a little bit back. Of course the Terran has to pull back to repair the science vessel, or to wait for those medics to heal up the bio from him. Let's see how the game is going to continue. JAEDONG really wants to expand into this location right here, sniping the reinforcements, but he might be trapped, so that's quite a risky move by him. He could be trapped right here. Irradiance once again getting used against the Defiler, so JD taking more and more damage. He has to put a defensive swarm right here, as in the meantime we actually see some Mutalisks moving here forward, but the Terran, like I told you, smartly leaving some units here behind to defend, as JD might also try to regroup back to defend. And in the meantime, more and more units are getting brought forward here by the Terran, as even some damage has been taken here by the Terran, but still a 60 workers for him versus the 42, as another group of Marines will be brought here back to defend. So quite a nice game we have here in between the two pros. Irradiance once again is getting used, and slowly but steadily JAEDONG is now the one taking the initiative, moving forward. One science vessel getting sniped, but Irradiance once again getting casted. So great stuff here by the Terran, trying of course to take out the important units here from the Zerg, the Lurkers and the Defilers, and it looks like he should of course be able to hold this attack from the opponent. In the meantime, we once again do have some small group of Marines that made it here forward, but JAEDONG is going to be able to take care of that. Now some lurkers will hatch perhaps very soon here, as JAEDONG actually brings lots of units here forward, but the Marines are ready to attack with great upgrades here for them. 2-2 upgrades for him, and even 3-3 is about to get finished, so Marines will be very imbalanced here versus the Zerg army very soon. So quite a strong point here by the Terran, upgrading those Marines, making them very strong. Even some tanks are now being added, so, and those tanks could be quite deadly into this position right here to deal damage towards the quite exposed expansion there. As JAEDONG, sadly for him, he's taking more and more casualties. The supply is dropping here for him. He really needs some more lurkers perhaps. And yeah, those Marines, like I told you, with those upgrades, quite deadly against those Hydralisks. Let's not forget that the medics are also nicely healing them up. So very good gameplay here by JD, actually by the Terran. And sadly here for JD, he's dropping below 100 of a supply, but in the meantime he's securing another expansion, so that's very important for him, as the Terran once again is moving out, but this time with 2 tanks. So like I told you, this position right here for the tanks would pretty much be perfect to snipe the drones. Let's see if this is going to be the decision here by the Terran. Of course, the expansion also here quite a small gap to defend it. In the meantime, JAEDONG tries to counter, but all of his attempts are pretty much being taken care of the Terran. And yeah, he's trying of course to buy as much time as he can to produce more units, but those tanks of course slowly but steadily moving here forward. The Terran is gaining more and more control of the map, as JD also responding now with some lurkers, with some Dark Swarm, but those science vessels very deadly in the air, just sniping more and more of the units. As now finally JD might be lucky to snipe a tank or two, so very important stuff here for him, as indeed the Dark Swarm is helping him out quite a lot, and he's dealing very good damage towards those tanks right here. So yeah, slowly but steadily we turn towards the 20-minute mark. Still anyone's game, very hard game however here by JD, but perhaps some great lurker gameplay here for him with some defilers would take care of the sheer biomass from the Terran, as now slowly but steadily he's being able to clear important units from the Terran. The tanks will be taken care of, as the defilers have created a nice highway here of the Dark Swarm. There comes the response. At the same time, some small units are being taken care of here by JD, as JD is taking yet another expansion. So very interesting macro game here by both players. Like I told you, still anyone's game. We have defilers versus science vessel, and mass bio versus lurkers with Hydralisk here for the player. Let's just check the upgrades to carapace, so no upgrades into attacking here, as the Marines should have 3 upgrades, so very strong upgrades indeed, as even weapons 1 has started here for the Terran. And in the meantime, once again, some lurkers will be taken care of here by the science vessel. So a smart idea here by JD, leaving some lurkers here in order to inflict damage towards the bio from the opponent, but those science vessels very good in the air, being able to snipe those lurkers. This lurker however could be lucky to snipe many Marines, but in the end we see a major move out now here by the Terran, I believe towards the newly established base right here. But not that many defenses here ready for JAEDONG to take care of this assault. The firebats will of course be able to deal lots and lots of damage. Reinforcements also pulling here forward for the Terran, as still JD nicely buying some time here, not only buying time but killing so many Marines. This one lurker having so many kills, 60 kills for him. So a huge mistake by the Terran, leaving those units there to fight into the Dark Swarm, and with that lots and lots of splash damage has been taken here by him from the lurker with 70 kills for him. So a hero lurker here for him. You can see of course how strong the Zerg is with only 2 units against the sheer mass of bio here from the opponent. But the economy is of course very strong here for the Terran. He's pushing once again forward with bio, with some tanks, and the science vessels are just flying around the map to give great vision against the units here from the Zerg. Some lurkers will take some damage, but now we do have quite some exposed army here from the Terran. A great plague has been casted, even a better Dark Swarm, as the Terran is now getting forced to pull back a little bit. So yeah, we have passed the 20-minute mark. The Terran deciding to take yet another expansion right here, so a very good macro game by him. Sadly here for JAEDONG, he's at only 15 workers versus the 71 from the Terran. So he really needs those great gameplays with the lurkers in order to counter the fire from the opponent. He might be able to do it with so many high risk that could hedge into those lurkers. We do have some tanks out onto the map, but Plague of course will be able to take care of that, and even Dark Swarm. So let's just see what the plans here from Jaedong are. Perhaps he's going to try to attack the newly established base right here. One SCV is there ready to guard, but the real action is of course happening here into the center. But here for Jaedong, he needs a Dark Swarm very soon. A Great Plague is also being casted as the Marines now with the upgrades take care of one Hydrosk after the other, but in the end the Dark Swarm should of course be able to give protection towards JD. And JD, sadly here for him, he has to pull back a little bit, he has to regroup. Lots and lots of Hydrosk in the red. And the Terran all of a sudden slowly but steadily keeps on moving forward. He's taking control of the middle of the map with his tanks. And slowly but steadily I believe he's going to try to attack towards the newly established base here from Jaedong. And there we have mass irradiance once again getting casted against the lurkers. Great job here by the Terran, showing us the strengths of his spells. But the same can be said here for the Zerg. A nice Plague has been casted, great Dark Swarm as well. But now the real damage dealers are in the back waiting of course to deal damage, and the Scourges even get some good connections. So yeah, a very interesting game indeed. Some mutilates got just still patrolling here the map. See what is going to happen. Some SCVs on idle sadly here for the Terran, but a very good game by him as he's almost getting maxed out. Great economy by him. Lots and lots of supply is of course into those SCVs, and now finally some good connections here for Jaedong versus the science vessel. But the middle of the map pretty much in control here for the Terran. It looks like he's pretty much pushing with everything he has towards the enemy. One weapon should of course be done for the Terran, as even the vision is of course ready for him. And the Terran of course will now gain more and more control against Jaedong. So Jaedong in a very critical situation right here. He's pretty much getting now sieged with all of those tanks here from the Terran. Great Dark Swarm by him. He should of course be able to hold. He should of course be able to snipe some important tanks. Very good gameplay here by him. A nice defense by him. But the Terran is looking more and more stronger as now the science vessel are moving forward here for him, giving vision, perhaps ready to irradiate once again those units from the opponent. What exactly is being left here for Jaedong, as sadly for him he's losing more and more units, and the Terran just keeps on marching here forward. His next target will of course be the newly established base by Jaedong right here. In the meantime also a small group by Marines pretty much hurt. They shouldn't be able to move here forward quickly. And yeah, the real army here from the Terran is of course moving now forward. Jaedong once again buying some good time with his Dark Swarm as some units are coming in from the back. So very good position here actually here for Jaedong. Getting a good surround. A good Plague has also been casted, but in the end he has of course he has to GG out. In the end it was way too much for him, as so many Marines and fire bats and medics. And let's not forget the reinforcements in the back here from the Terran, just gaining more and more control of the map. A very good game here by the Terran. A nice abusive gameplay here with dropships, and his economy also very strong. His main looking also very good. Sadly I don't know who he is. Perhaps it's Sharp, perhaps it's Rush. But a very good game indeed by him, leaving Jaedong in the end with no chance, and of course targeting the newly established base. And let's not forget those upgrades, very important upgrades for the Marines. A very early weapons one for him, which has enabled him to deal lots and lots of damage against the Zerg. So yeah, in the end Jaedong actually getting forced to play it very defensively here versus the Terran. And of course the economy from the Terran pretty much overwhelming here the Zerg. So yeah, a very good game here actually by both players. Sadly for Jaedong, his gameplay wasn't really able to kick in, and the Terran just gave him no chance to do his abusive gameplay versus him. So yeah, very good game indeed. A very long game actually. I have decided to cast longer games this time. And yeah, let's just see how it's going to continue here onto the channel, as we of course once again have a very good replay. Sadly I'm not finding any more replays of Flash. I'm going to try to find more, but currently I'm just searching for Jaedong, Bisu, maybe some Stork, Zealot. I've also found yeah many more pros of course. Even Speed perhaps is going to be casted here onto this channel, so lots and lots of action will follow of course. Maybe even some Starcraft 2, maybe some ASMR, so only Starcraft music and sound without me commentating we just see how it's going to continue here onto this channel. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Tommy signing out.